this move in some ways kind of reminded me of like college football and college sports, where you always want to keep your coach and your guys that are at the top of your programs, in line, so you can always hit that next recruiting schedule or recruiting, cycle. So obviously pro sports are so much different, but in some ways I think this was more of a PR play, or like the fact that they made it public when the Bears have never made contracts public like that tells me, like you're saying, Carm, like they are doing this specifically and they're doing this for a reason. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think, you know what, fine, like show competence. That's actually a good thing. I love that, but it seems like a little bit of an overcorrection in that sense. And maybe you didn't necessarily have to do it. Like you're saying, did Ryan Poles necessarily warrant that contract extension while he still had 2 years remaining? Maybe, maybe not. I think you can make an argument both ways if you really wanted to. I'm along those same lines as you. I want continuity. I think in the NFL, you need that continuity, and the Bears are finally committing to that. So for that regard, I applaud them, and I think that's a good thing. Line them up with the coach, line them up with the quarterback, see what happens, and then kind of deal with it in the future. So it's a vote of confidence, no doubt, for Ryan Poles, but it's also, I think, a little bit of a vote of confidence in the Chicago Bears, where they stand in the NFL in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, they're thinking long-term with this, right? Because we mentioned that this keeps Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson under contract with the Chicago Bears, at least until 2029. So from that regard, I actually really like it because it shows that the Bears are thinking long-term. They're not thinking that this is going to change overnight. It is a huge, like you mentioned, Mike, vote of confidence in Ryan Poles. But it's also a bigger risk then, because if this doesn't go like you expect it to go, at least within the next couple of years, there's quite a few years tacked on to that extension now, or to that contract now via the extension for Ryan Poles, that ties you to him. And this has not been a franchise that has shown its willingness to cut ties with coaches and general managers before their contracts are up and to pay these guys who aren't working for them. So that's kind of my only hesitancy here is, all right, you're now taking a risk if you're the Chicago Bears. You wanted to do this. You wanted to set him on the same timeline. You didn't want Ryan Poles to be coaching for his job while Ben Johnson sat there all cushy and on his multi-year deal and all of that. I get that. But by doing this now, before you see how this actually goes, when the bullets are real, when the bullets are live, you've now taken a gigantic risk in that if it doesn't go well, are you going to make the necessary changes that you need to, or are you going to hold on maybe a little too long and keep this team in a non-optimal state? Are you going to really take advantage of Caleb Williams' contract if there's still all of this turmoil? It was kind of a catch-22, a double-edged sword, whatever metaphor you want to use, because if you want continuity, you have to commit to it, and the Bears did that, but it doesn't come without its own risks.